the construction workers, and Justin even said the guy threatened to set off a PR nightmare when he emailed any legal action would be opening the door to a broad range of allegations that would become publicly available and would not please Justin or his wife or their respective publicists.
Oh,
so anyway, Justin is now suing for at least $350,000 plus damages. We'll see what happens.
I wonder why these celebs would, because the East Coast thing is becoming kind of a trend with Hollywood. A lot of West Coast actors are moving to the East Coast, and to go from maybe a spacious mansion in Malibu to now a co-op in Greenwich Village, it just seems kind of strange you'd make that decision.
Well, you're in New York, in that vibrant city. I would move to North Carolina, get this huge spread, countryside and everything, and you got land around you. You can drive your lawnmower around.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd prefer to get away from population density. Yeah,
get away from people. Oh boy. Michael Jordan, welcome everybody to the show. We're happy to have you with us. Michael Jordan's his 1984 Olympic jersey has gone on the auction block, and it could end up being one of the most expensive pieces of Michael Jordan memorabilia ever. It's his Ernest rocked the number 9 jersey when the Team USA dominated the 1984 Summer Olympics, and it's a gray flannel auctions summer catalog. That's where you can find it, and apparently it's the only known jersey of its kind. And 1984 is the last time an amateur-led team won the gold medal for the United States. So you might want to check this out. Michael Jordan's jersey going up, Team USA jersey up for auction, number 9 that he wore. Michael Jackson, since we're doing all Michael news for you today on the show, apparently Lifetime and Netflix, they have movies about Michael Jackson. They won't feature any of Michael Jackson's music if they're smart, because Michael Jackson's estate, according to they told TMZ, that they're searching for Neverland and the recently announced animated feature Bubbles are not authorized. Therefore, they're not allowed to use any of Michael's materials, especially his music.
Oh, boy.
So the Michael Jackson estate is holding off legal action for now. But if they hear any songs of Michael Jackson, they may round up the lawyers. The reason they're not headed to court now is the representatives for the estate haven't seen the movies. So Searching for Neverland starts next week. And the other movie, Bubbles, I don't know when that's going to exist, so you can be able to find that out. I'll watch both of those films. It sounds good. Just leave the movie. We don't need the music, right?
Yeah, we know the soundtrack. We just throw a couple Michael Jackson CDs on the ghetto boombox there, and we'll just let it play and watch the movie. That sounds fine to me.
They should just put on the screen, you can keep it up there, just say, insert Billie Jean, and do your own mix in the movie.
Yeah, I almost dated myself by calling the boombox the ghetto blaster. And actually, I think even calling it a boombox kind of dates myself a little bit as well.
I don't think you can even find radios anymore. That's why I think it's all just a chip.
I think you're
right.
Yeah.
Anyway, the chip off the old ghetto blaster
boombox.
That's it. Yeah. Anyway, listen to this. I'm very sad to hear about this. I understand, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the greatest show on earth coming to an end: Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey's Circus.
Oh, I heard about this, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I understand animal activists are up in arms or whatever, but, I mean, can't they just see that the animals are taken good care of? And we want the big show with the lions and the tigers. Otherwise, none of us will see them. We can't afford to go on safari. Did you go on safari into Africa? I've been there. I'm going again because I love to see the animals.
Well,
yeah, right. Get in the Jeep and go look around the animals and get eaten by a bear or whatever there is out there. I'd rather go sit in the stands, eat some popcorn, and watch a tiger. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Will we change the name of the Detroit Tigers now? Is that cruelty to animals?
Here on the Circus Radio Network.
Yes, calling a tiger Detroit. That's cruel.
I'm Richard A. Nixon, author of America: An Illusion of Freedom. If you're sick and tired of having 9 unelected Supreme Court justices running our country, nullifying our votes by finding things in our Constitution that don't exist, and ignoring things in our Constitution that do exist, in short, if you're sick and tired of their rewriting the U.S. Constitution, and you want to do something about it, read my book, America: An Illusion of Freedom. It shows that beginning in 1803, the Supreme Court has been rewriting, distorting, and intentionally misinterpreting the Constitution to the point where 9 unelected lawyers in robes are in charge of our freedoms. You will be shocked when you read how the 14th Amendment has been misused, but also how easily it can be fixed. For more information or to order a copy of my book, America: An Illusion of Freedom, go to crntalk.com/Nixon. That's crntalk.com heritage.com/Nixon.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294. Welcome back here to the lounge. Michael Horn, Eric Hines. Entertainment and news extraordinaire for you every day. Recap of what's going on in the world of entertainment and more. And just before we went on air, we should mention we do this show live every day at 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's 7 o'clock Eastern time. So you may hear this on a delayed basis on some of our networks and stations. But prior to going on the air, this big problem in England there at this concert. Am I right, Eric Hines?
Yeah, Ariana Grande concert. Apparently there's some explosions and there are some injuries and casualties. So we're still waiting for the latest reports as to what the findings
Tough
are.
thing,
Yeah,
man.
it's really terrible.
People are supposed to stay away from the area there. This was in England. Am I right?
Yeah, the Manchester Arena.
Yeah. So tough to hear that. Hopefully everybody knows what's going on by the time you hear that story. But what, pyrotechnics? We don't know if it's terrorism, whatever. At this time, we don't know, right?
Yeah, thoughts and prayers definitely going out to those that were injured and, of course, their families.
Now, we mentioned just before the break here that last Sunday was the last of the greatest shows ever on Earth. And I'm talking about the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Now, I don't care if you're worried about animal cruelty or whatever, but as a kid growing up, you always waited and wanted to see when the circus comes to town. I heard my daughter, she does a radio show, and she was talking about how she really enjoyed the fact that I was a guest ringmaster for Circus Vargas. It makes me feel proud that I was out there and actually impressed my young daughter. She was 25 at the time when I took her to the circus for the first time, but apparently impressed. We just did not go out much as a family. I made that last part up. She was just a young child. And I remember going out to the circus, and my dad was there, and my mom, and my uncle and aunt, and my brother, and it was my sister. If I would have had one, she would have been there too. My cousin, everybody. And you could get popcorn. You could watch the stuff. You'd watch the people on the high wire act and the trapeze and all that. And they cracked the whips at the lions, and the lions responded. But I never saw lions get hit and all this stuff. Well, apparently these animal activist groups have really done a job here now. Here's another institution going down the trail because it's Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus was a pioneering. It was a traveling show. Yeah. Talk about the great stunts, and the animals were trained. Am I right, Eric?
They are trained, and I'll even tell you a little history about my family. My great grandmother was a bareback rider in the circus.
Really?
Yeah. She was of Native American descent, and she was a animal trainer and a bareback rider. So
some people, their first jobs, they were became as part of the circus troupe. She traveled with the show, right?
Absolutely. And here's another ironic kind of thing about this whole issue is that for a lot of people, they will never see these animals in person. And,
there you go.
And comparing, Ringling Brothers as maybe an issue with animal cruelty versus the real issue, which is, the destruction of their habitat. I think it's a more pressing issue to deal with their habitat destruction.
See, I'm with you 100% on that. And they call this, the animal activists used to call this the cruelest show on earth. All you got to do is have somebody monitor things, and you'll be in there. So the animal rights groups have for years they've accused Ringling Brothers of abusing animals during and after the training, but here's what they found out, and I'm going to say this, and I want you to listen carefully. In two of the major cases, the animal rights group were ordered to pay Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey millions of dollars when the courts realized that the animal rights group had paid witnesses to testify.
Oh, boy.
These are creeps, some of these animal rights groups. I'm not saying all, but these groups are creepy.
This is terrible.
So what happens when that word went out? Ringling Brothers' parent company said it was the end of the long run because they've had low ticket sales and high operating costs. Who's going to go to a circus when they think that animals are being beaten up every night instead of being fed and taken care of and doctored and taken care of if there was some problems with it? So the ticket sales dropped further when Ringling Brothers stopped using elephants because they can't have elephants in the show. I loved the elephants. That was the best thing. They walked around. They stood on one leg. They did a bunch of stuff. Anyway, the elephants have been brought to Ringling's Conservation Center, and then the animal rights activists criticized the conditions at that sanctuary. Well, stick your head in the sand, animal rights groups. I'm tired of it. And you've done your job. We're aware of it. If there's some abuse, we're going to take care of it now. Everybody is there. If there's some creep that wants to beat their dog or hurt an elephant or whatever, trust me, it'll come to the forefront, and we'll get them taken care of. It's not a secret anymore. We'll get it taken care of. But don't cancel the dang circus, you morons.
Well, what's going to happen now is you're going to have these smaller operations, these smaller circuses are going to pick up where Ringling Brothers left off.
Circus Vargas.
And because they're not so high profile or as high profile as Ringling Brothers, you're going to have these same issues that these guys are worried about happening on...
I hope not.
Yeah, probably happening on a larger scale because there's all these mom and pop circus operations. We'll see.
I used to be part of the Circus Vargas. Did all their commercials across the country. That's where I was ringmaster. And I never, there was not one animal that I abused. In fact, I stayed clear of them. Bill Crosby trial is going to begin. It's going to be starting today. Stay clear of Bill Crosby. I love Bill Crosby.
That's a whole different animal right there. There we go.
I'm so sad about this thing. We'll continue straight ahead. It is The Lounge. Michael Horn, Eric Hines, thanks for joining us.
This is Bill's yard, and Bill's a grill master, not a grass expert. Still, no weeds belong in this backyard barbecue kingdom. And with Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, Bill's greasy thumb is just as good as a green thumb. Because Scott's thickens lawns to help crowd out over 50 pesky weeds. So Bill can defeat invaders, green up his lawn, and hold his spatula high. This is a Scott's Yard. Pick up Scott's Weed and Feed today.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's to see the memorabilia of movie stars and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. See the Art of the Masters, an Italian town square complete with storefronts of old Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares, fairy lights from cathedral ceilings, and our ancestors smiling down at you from the family love altar. The romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical Room of the Moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you need to know there is money available to you that can lower your Medicare prescription costs. How much can you save? Find out now by making a free call to Health Markets. They'll search from a variety of nationally recognized plans to find you the right coverage at a price that fits your budget. And they'll do all this valuable research for you at no charge to you. And remember, you may be able to save money on your prescriptions. We'll tell you if you qualify. Why pay a penny more than you have to for an insurance policy? Let us find you the right plan at the right price and see if you qualify to lower your prescription costs. Put our free service to work for you at no charge. Call Health Markets right now.
800-990-0351. 800-990-0351. 800-990-0351. That's 800-990-0351.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., licensed in all 50 states and D.C. Service and product availability varies by state. Agents may be compensated based on your enrollment.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
Three friends, three unique perspectives. You're listening to On Air with Doug, Jen, and Victoria.
Sean Connery.
He could be 109. I'd still go out with him.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Where's Lewis?
He knows.
There's
something called a hall pass. Yeah, it might be my hall pass.
There's a hall pass? No hall passes in my life.
Maybe you need to renegotiate that agreement.
Doug, Jen, and Victoria weekdays at 3 a.m. Pacific, 6 a.m. Eastern on CRN.
Welcome back here to the lounge. I'm Michael Horn along with Eric Hines. News of the day and more. Got a special guest on the show today, Eric Hines. So are you ready to go here?
We're going big time here, Michael Horn. We have columnist and author Jeff Crouere. He is the author of a timely new book called America's Last Chance. And he's also a former Trump delegate. He's going to tell us about some of his insight as into this Tim Allen thing. Of course, the show Last Man Standing has been canceled by ABC. And Jeff has some really important and insightful information for us. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Jeff, thank you for speaking out, too, on this. At the beginning of the show, you probably did not hear, but I watch a lot of stuff. We do this show, The Lounge. I'm talking about entertainment. I watch a lot of TV shows, try to catch stuff. I'm not a big sitcom person, and I feel bad now because it took me like 4 years to finally discover Last Man Standing. I'd watched a little bit, but watching this episode, and great television is great writing and great ensemble cast that put it together. And I'm seeing Jay Leno doing walk-ons on here. It's an all-star cast. And I almost fell off my sofa because I like to sit there on the sofa when I saw jokes about Democrats on the show. Literally, I couldn't believe it. I taped the show. I told people, I brought them over. Look at this. It's like, I couldn't believe it. They talk about fake news. They talk about one side being reported in the news. It's the same way on television. When you see somebody with a timely joke that's a conservative, that's a liberal joke, it really sticks out. And that's what I saw on the show, and I thought, this is my new favorite comedy show, and now it's canceled. What's going on?
It's gone. Well,
am I right about this? They were the one guys that had the guts to do this.
Right. And you know what? I will extend that, gentlemen, to the late-night comics.
Yes.
And it's just bash Trump all the time, bash Republicans. I sort of long for the days of Johnny Carson.
Jay Leno had it half and half. He had the balance going all the time.
Right, and that was funny to me. And so when he made fun of Republicans, I laughed with it because I knew that he would also give it to the Democrats. And now it's just 100% Donald Trump and the Republicans. And to me, it's not even funny. I mean, it's mean-spirited, it's vicious, and it's, I think, what we're seeing on the broadcast networks during their primetime television shows. And this one lonely show, guys, the one lonely show to really speak to the 63 million people that voted for Donald Trump, you know, the deplorables, what we're called, and they cancel it, even though it had great ratings. It was second among comedies on ABC, third among scripted shows, 8.1 million viewers per week. It was doing gangbusters, but they got rid of it, and I think it was because Tim Allen had spoken out and let his views be known, and that's just not acceptable in Hollywood.
So that was my thought, because I love the show. I'm 4 episodes behind, and I see that there's no more new episodes, and I went to the upfronts, and all of a sudden I hear the show's done, and I was wondering about the ratings. That you're telling me here that the show had 8.1 million viewers a week. You said it was the second highest rated comedy and the third highest rated scripted show on ABC. Am I right?
You are right. You are exactly correct.
Now, Eric brought up the fact that ABC has said, well, we didn't own the show, so we want to have the ownership rights if it goes into syndication. Is that part of the argument as well?
Well, I think they're using that as like a cover story, that there was negotiations about the cost of the show, and that was one of the reasons why it was canceled. But to me, they've been able to work it out all the other 6 years, and when the show is going so strong, you work out whatever kind of negotiations you have to keep it going. I mean, it's obviously making money for the network. So I think that's just a bogus excuse. I don't think they want to be honest with us, gentlemen, as to what they're really all about, and that is placating the far left. And conservatives aren't welcome on that network. Look at their news operation. Look who they have, gentlemen, as their news anchor. I mean, for the morning show, George Stephanopoulos.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm flabbergasted. That's what they call fair and balanced journalism.
Here's the thing. The Republicans that I know, okay, and I was a lifelong Democrat, switched over to become a Republican when I wanted to vote for Ronald Reagan. I will still vote for the person I think is the best person for the job. But it's gotten to be pretty distinctive in my mind that if you're for family values and family and working hard for a living and having your own responsibility, that seems to be the Republican ideal. Not all Republicans are my favorite. I'm not just a one person kind of vote. I'll look at things. But I'll also stay quiet about stuff. On the show, I'll make jokes and things of that nature. But, I mean, you watch a guy like Stephen Colbert, it just makes my skin itch. I mean, the guy's not even a comedian. Right. He's doing a news show in place of what David Letterman, who was liberal, but at least he had other jokes to balance it out on that show. So how did you get involved in all this? You see this going on around us. Sometimes the conservatives stay pretty quiet, but now it's time to start a letter writing campaign, because not only it was there was an occasional joke here, it was a funny, great show, this Last Man Standing.
Well, the reason I got involved is because I have a program here in the New Orleans area. I've got a radio and TV show, and I am the only conservative on the radio in New Orleans. My TV show is the only conservative one on PBS, maybe, gentlemen, in the nation, but certainly
on PBS. I hail to you if you've got a conservative show on PBS. That gives my renewed faith in PBS. Continue. Go ahead.
So I just got to thinking. I mean, this is not fair. This is not representing and appealing to so many millions of Americans. And I started to look in what the networks were offering, and then I stumbled across Last Man Standing, and I've been following it. And then, lo and behold, they cancel it. So I thought, well, I've got to write about this, because it's just unfair, and it's typical of what we're seeing on the networks. And we got a lot of exposure on the column, and a lot of people are now, contacting ABC, and there are petitions and all kinds of other things going on. And I don't know if ABC is going to be receptive, but what I hope for is that one other network will pick it up and say, okay, we're going to give this show a home, and we're going to bring these viewers over to our network.
Hey, they did it with Nashville. They lost out on Nashville, and that was just that went over to the country music television there. But you think there's a chance this show might get picked up elsewhere?
Well, some of my friends have said the same thing to me, that they wished the same thing would happen that happened in Nashville. CMT would pick it up, but I haven't heard any discussions about that. I know that people are still going after ABC, and what some are doing is saying, hey, we're going to boycott now. We're going to boycott this network for what we see as utter bias that was displayed in this decision. It was not ratings-based. I think it was ideologically based. And I think the people out there are saying, hey, enough is enough. We're not going to support this network any longer because...
Jeff, hey, hang on. We're taking a break. We're going to come back with more. Jeff Crouere is here, columnist and author. Stay with us.
Welcome to the show that really stinks. Odor Events, brought to you by Citrus Magic. Today, the Jones family will name all the odor events they can in 30 seconds. Ready? Go!
Rotten garbage can.
Yes, Molly.
Ew, musty basement.
Good. Jimmy.
Poopy diaper.
Yep. Haley.
Smelly socks.
Yes, Dave.
Stinky litter box.
Yes, Molly.
Ugh, funky fridge fumes.
Good. Jimmy.
Potty odor PU.
Yes, Haley.
Dad's feet. Wait, cat pee.
You're out of time.
But
I'm sorry. See you again next week for
That's gross.
Odor Events, the show that really stinks.
Get rid of the odor events in your home with Citrus Magic. The strength of its citrus makes odors disappear, leaving the fresh scent of natural citrus. Look for Citrus Magic in the air freshener aisle in Target, Kroger, Safeway, Publix, Walmart, and other fine stores everywhere.
If you run your own business, when you're not on the job, you're on the road. In your van. Signs that say detour and do not enter are just plain bad for business. Well, here's a sign that's great for business. It says 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance on Mercedes-Benz Sprinter or Metris vans. Powerful, capable, and affordable. That's Mercedes-Benz Van Power. With pioneering safety technologies and low total cost of ownership, Mercedes-Benz vans are the right choice for your business. Check out the full lineup of Mercedes-Benz vans starting at just $25,995. 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance. That's van power for all. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Starting at price refers to base model Metris worker cargo van. Excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Please see your dealer or go to mvvans.com for further details and exclusions.
Welcome back here to the lounge. I'm Michael Horn with Eric Hines.
We got Jeff Crouere still joining us. We're talking about, of course, the canceling of Tim Allen's show, The Last Man Standing. Was it politically motivated, or was it simply a business decision? But, of course, Jeff Crouere giving us some great insight. Jeff, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thanks, gentlemen. And I've done a little research during the break, and I found that the petition that is on change.org has 381,000 supporters.
Great.
So that's a lot of people that have signed that petition saying, save Tim Allen's show.
So Tim Allen is no longer the last man standing. The show, which had great ratings, 8.1 million viewers each week. It was the second highest rated comedy and the third highest rated scripted show on the ABC network. You go to change.org. Is that how you go to sign the deal to go ahead and get the show back?
Yes, it is petitioning ABC Network, and the title of it is Save Tim Allen's Show, Last Man Standing. You just put that in the search bar, and it'll come up.
Change.org and search Last Man Standing. So, Jeff Crouere, you're a columnist, you're an author. I want to talk about your book in a second, but you also do, you said, a radio show and a TV show in the New Orleans area, and you've got these shows going on. You also sent out a release that talked about the fact you were available to talk on shows. What was the response to that release you sent out? Did you get a lot of people to say, hey, come on my show?
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing lots of interviews about
Good. That shows there's interest out there, because it caught my eye.
There's a lot of interest. Yeah, there's a lot of interest in this.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. They talk about, the news is basically on the left, but what a lot of people don't realize is The right or the conservative side stays very quiet. They don't make a lot of news. They're not going to sit out there and protest and, putting masks on and start knocking windows down and burning down buildings and everything to get everybody's attention. They're going to just quietly go. But you can see the reaction when you get picked up by people and people are interested, and then you go to change.org and you see people trying to save the show. And if you haven't seen Last Man Standing, by all means, I believe it's still up on the ABC website. I hope it is. You can look at episodes. It's just a great comedy show. It's well written, but it has political humor that hits the left as well as on the right. So it's like it is a show that gives you some different balance on the other stuff that you normally see on the air. Now, Tim Allen was on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and I want your comments on this, Jeff Crouere. He was on there, and during that interview, apparently he said, and I'm quoting now, this is from Tim Allen. He says, "You got to be real careful around here. You get beat up if you don't believe what everyone else believes. This is like 30s Germany." I find that to be the case when I go to Hollywood parties.
No doubt. And I think and we have here in New Orleans sort of a mini little Hollywood. We've got a lot of productions that have moved here, and
yes.
When I talk to actors and actresses, they tell me that they cannot, if they're conservative, they cannot discuss their political beliefs or they will not get hired. And what I'm thinking is that when Tim Allen sort of made this known, he went to the Trump inauguration, he said this about what everyone else believes, that was one of the reasons that they axed him. I really do.
So he went to the inauguration. When he went to the inauguration, that probably really stuffed it up on the old craws of the ABC execs. Am I right?
Oh, definitely. Because
Yep.
there weren't any Hollywood stars there. John Voight, I mean, it was Slim Pickens, Scott Baio. That's about it.
Everybody, when the Obama was coronated there, everybody, oh, it's so wonderful, we got to see everything. And the guy did absolutely nothing. He drew a line in the sand in Syria, and then he let everybody dance all over it. It's like, come on. You go through modes where you got conservatives, you got liberals, that's what makes the country great. Back off and let this guy work. Now, you were, I guess, a delegate here, were you not, Jeff Crouere, at the convention or something? What was that like there when this whole Trump thing happened?
Yeah, I was able to get on board early with the campaign and was a co-chair in Louisiana, was a delegate, went to the convention, went to the inauguration, and got to see 3 of the rallies. And I've been involved in politics for decades, and gentlemen, I've never seen anything like this. It was unreal. I mean, the enthusiasm at the rallies, the connection that Donald Trump had with the audience, the fire and passion that his supporters have, and I think it's really been able to help him get through a rocky period because, he's got everybody going after him. And he's had to take a lot of hits from a lot of different sides, but he knows, I think, that he's got his base supporters still with him. And that, I think, gives him a lot of support through all this that is going on. And I've never seen anything like it.
Jeff, what are people scared of? What do they think he's going to do? I mean, you talk about if somebody lied, if you have your doctor, you can keep your doctor. I'm going to draw this line in the sand. I can go on and on about the things Obama did. I can talk about a lot of things that people lie about all the time on the left. Here's a guy that everybody says he lied, and if you press him and say, what did he lie about, nobody can come up with a lie. They keep saying, well, he had ties with Russia. There's been nothing proved. There's like investigations being done by the Senate and the House, now a special prosecutor. Oh my gosh, he fired Comey. Okay, the president can fire. That's part of the president's, the president can, the guy, FBI director, serves at the behest of the president. What did he do that's so wrong? What are people scared of with this Trump? He may not speak as eloquently as Obama. He may tweet, but I mean, come on, what's the big worry?
Well, here's what it is, and I've really come to this conclusion after observing this now for the 2 years that Donald Trump has been a candidate and now president. It is the establishment in both parties, it is the bureaucracy in the government that I think is threatened by an outsider, a non-politician, coming in and changing the way Washington operates. I think they're concerned about their money, their funding, their contracts, their various cushy positions, and they see him as a threat.
They're scaring us because he wants to drain the swamp. I think you hit it on the head. Where do we get more information on everything here? And well, hang on. I want you to plug your book here for a second. So we got one more segment. Can you hang in here with us, Jeff?
Of course.
Jeff Crouere is here. He's written a book called America's Last Chance. We'll tell you how you can get that straight ahead. Stay with us. Michael Horn, Eric Hines in the lounge.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. And if there's one thing about Columbo's, it's their tradition of giving back to the community. This year, Columbo's is asking you to help the Los Robles Medical Center. They send teams of doctors, clinicians, and support staff down to Honduras. And when it comes to health, Honduras is below third world country status. It's that bad. Any contribution for the purchase of medication and supplies for the unfortunate in Honduras is needed right now. The Los Robles Medical Mountain Team leaves for Honduras in August, so your contributions are needed now. Please help and make a difference. Go to friendsofbarnabas.com, friendsofbarnabas.com. Then scroll down to the donate button and designate the funds to Los Robles 2017. And thank you.
We're back in the lounge. Michael Horn, Eric Hines.
Oh, yeah, and we're continuing now with Jeff Crouere. We were talking for the last two segments about the controversy over the canceling of The Last Man Standing on ABC. And, of course, we definitely want to talk about Jeff's book. Jeff, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you, gentlemen. Great to be with you.
So, Jeff, we just before the break, you talked about the people scared, and I think you hit on it. The fact that Donald Trump said he's going to drain the swamp has scared the career politicians. The old windbags like Maxine Waters and Charlie Schumer and the gang are scared they're not going to get their special deals together. They've made this country, fat cats, given us all freebie stuff, free cell phones. You're going to get this. You're going to get free this and free that, while they have bankrupted our country. And it's not just the Democrats. I mean, Obama, bless his heart, doubled the deficit, that old nut. You had George W. Bush adding to the deficit himself. He never brought it down to nothing, and it was balanced under Bill Clinton. So it's like, here's a guy, Donald Trump says, hey, we're going to get things in line. And these politicians are scared to death, and then they're using the media to scare all of us that this guy is some kind of a crazy creep. Am I right?
You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly it. They're trying to scare the American people, thinking Donald Trump is unbalanced, unhinged, a danger. And this is a guy, gentlemen, who built a $10 billion empire. This is someone who was incredibly successful in all the different business fields he was involved in. He's got great management skills. He's got the kind of skills we need in the White House.
Oh, well, wait, Jeff, Hold on a second. He went bankrupt sometime, so let me tell you, what's with everybody else? As soon as you run up your credit cards, you declare bankruptcy, and then you don't have to pay. You're doing the same thing out there, America. You've got to pay your bills. You've got to work hard, and you will get what you want, but there's no excuse for a lack of hard work. And so you've written a book now, America's Last Chance. What's this book about, Jeff?
It really is about our country, and it was from the perspective of a talk show host and an activist, and I put in 20 years, and I've seen really the elites, they haven't listened to the grassroots. They turn their back on us time and time again, and I really saw the 2016 election as being the last chance for us as Americans to turn our country around. We were staring at the abyss. I think we were looking at Venezuela. We were looking at a failed state. And thankfully, we elected an outsider who's going to change the way Washington operates. But that was only step one. Step two is to get this agenda implemented. So our work is not done. I mean, in fact, it's harder now than just getting him elected because there's so many forces, as we talked about, lined up against him. We need to push this agenda through because to save America, not only do we need to elect Donald Trump, but we need to get this change agenda through Washington, and it is not going to be easy.
Need to get people working again, get people proud of the fact that they're contributing, need to get people, when they're paying their taxes, they know where they go, so politicians aren't just taking those taxes and using them how they see fit instead of letting us vote how they're used. You got a whole thing going on here today. Where do we get your book? Is it available now? America's Last Chance. The author is Jeff Crouere. You suppose last name Crouere, Jeff, the first name. Where do we get the book?
Well, the best way is just on my website. That's jeffcrouere.com, and it's got links to my new YouTube channel that I just started where I talk about a lot of these issues and bi-weekly commentaries, and the book is available there. It's also at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
BarnesandNoble.com, Amazon.com, or your website, Jeff Crouere. That's JEFFCROUERE, JeffCrouere.com. You can check it out. We'll stick it up on our website as well. Plus, you need to call us. Maybe we'll pick up your show and carry it nationally for you on CRN, Jeff. You sound like a good guy. We appreciate you being here on the show.
Thank you, gentlemen. Really enjoyed being with you.
All right, go to our website if you miss anything here on the lounge, crntalk.com/the lounge. Take our cell phone app with you wherever you go. Just on your smartphone, dial this number, pound 250, hit send. When they ask you for the keyword, say CRN Talk. For our executive producer, Courtney Cadera, for Eric Hines, I'm Michael Horn. Have a great day and always keep it here on the lounge.
Enjoying all your favorite CRN programming is easier than ever. It's right on your TV, through your local cable provider, and on the web at crntalk.com. But when you're on the move, stuck in a plane, train, or in your car, catch up on all the shows you missed. Or listen live to your favorites. Download our CRN app from your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Just search for CRN Digital Talk Radio. Or search for your favorite CRN shows on apps like iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, AHA Radio, uTunes, and Nobex. Now you have access to all of our great shows anywhere in the world and the ability to be part of them by calling our toll-free studio line at 800-336-2225. For more information on where and how to listen, log on to crntalk.com and create your own listening experience today.
The radio channels. The radio channels. CRN.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. There's been an explosion tonight at an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester in northern England.
Police say several people have died as a result of the explosion, but the singer was not injured. The National Rail Line says train lines out of a nearby Manchester Victoria station close to the concert area had been blocked. Some of the eyewitnesses at the concert reported seeing smoke, hearing explosions, and seeing some people covered in blood.
Correspondent Dennis Crowley reporting. NBC News is reporting that 20 people were killed in the explosion. Oliver Jones, 17, reported that, quote, the bang echoed around the foyer of the arena and people started to run. Protesters in Venezuela set the late President Hugo Chávez's childhood home on fire Monday afternoon as protests against the nation's socialist government grew increasingly hostile. Demonstrators lit the house in the city of Barinas, where Chávez spent his early years aflame, along with several government buildings, including the regional office of the National Electoral Council. Thousands of Venezuelans have taken to the street over the last 2 months to protest the government of President Nicolas Maduro and demanded new elections. President Trump is defending himself against allegations he divulged classified information to Russian diplomats.
During an appearance with Israel's prime minister in Jerusalem, the president said he never identified Israel in his Oval Office conversation with the Russians. He told reporters, "You have another story wrong." It's believed Israeli intelligence was the source of classified information about a threat posed by ISIS. Prime Minister Netanyahu said that U.S.-Israeli intelligence cooperation is terrific.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston reporting. On Wall Street, the Dow by 90 points to 20,895. The Nasdaq rose 50. The S&P advanced 12. Oil up 40 cents to close at $50.73 on the New York Mercantile Exchange. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Attention, Joint